Somebody mentioned that I should make more necklaces with these little shell coin beads. That's what the description of them is if you want to order them online. They're really, really flat, and they're made of like seashell or mother of pearl, and they're dyed all different colors or natural, but they're like so pretty, and they have a little hole drilled straight through. Once in a while you can get 20 gauge through them, but definitely most of the time you can get 22. And 22 is just about right because they're so tiny. These are like 1 centimeter or 10 millimeters. That's the most common. They also come in these big giant ones, which I think are like 24 millimeters. I don't have a ruler here, or I would know for sure. But I really like to find these intermediate ones. And those are like the perfect size. I think these are like 14 millimeters, like 1.5 centimeters. And they're like perfect, but I'm almost out of them. Anyway, I'm just going to show you the simplest wrap, which I've showed in other videos, but there's a lot of new people here, and they haven't seen this before. So, you know, this is always good. It's the simplest way to make a cute little necklace. Everybody loves this. It's the easiest thing. It's just ridiculous. So where's my 22 gauge? I don't have time to find the 22 gauge. I got to finish this video. I found 24, so we'll just use 24. It's a little thin, but I'll bring it real close up so you can see what's happening. This is just like the simplest wrap ever. You really don't even need this much for some of these, but just take a whole foot, which is like 25 centimeters, and just pick one. Put it through halfway. Bring it to the middle of the wire. Do 2 little crimps. Make a loop. Super easy, super fast. If you don't trust yourself to be able to make a loop freeform like I just did, this camera, we're focusing on my thumb, not the stones down there. Okay. Then you can take your round nose pliers, and you can always use them to make your loop. But in any case, twist this, bend it around once, and use your pliers. You can just twist it, or you can put the pliers in there and turn the wire around itself like that. Pretty much does the same thing, but that secures it better. Now, let's move these out of the way. We're just gonna fold these up and fold them down. Up and fold the bottom up, fold the top down like that. Cross them over each other. Somewhere in the bottom, I like, maybe in the corner, maybe at the very bottom, I like to have them cross each other and then start chasing each other in a circle. And that makes a very simple but pretty swirl. And I just keep going around and around as many times as I want. You can make a big giant swirl, or you can just come around like I did about twice, and this is what you get. And then I like to separate the wire because it looks like this pretty elegant look. I separate it, I fold it over in the back. This is a new thing I'm doing. In back, I give it 2 twists. That kind of holds it more secure in back. And then I come back to the front, try to get it kind of low, but you know, you just kind of get used to doing this. And then I put a curve into each wire like this, give it a nice curve, and then I bring them together at the top, and I bring them up to the loop like this and just pull them tight. And then I start to scarf them, which is basically, I pretend the top loop is a little face, and I just start wrapping the wire around and stacking it like this, like a scarf. I go around as many times as I feel looks good. In this case, just those 4 little strands coming around is good for me. So come around one more time and back. Get your cutters carefully. This is where you want to be real careful. You want to cut just enough that it's halfway across the loop, and you have these 2 little tabs, and see the little bowl that's made by your scarf. You want to fold them into the middle of the bowls. It takes a little bit of pinching. Sometimes you'll do one at a time if you're not used to it. And then once you get them in the kind of hovering over the middle, and you turn your pliers this way like on a diagonal, and you pinch them right in. And depending on the size of the loop, size of the wire, sometimes I'll close my pliers and just stab them like that, or like take one end and stab it just to get it in. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Cutest little teeny tiny thing. Those people who've seen me do this before, forgive me, this is, you know, for the new people to watch, but it's also a good refresher. And then you take your fingernail and you can kind of move these around if you want to adjust them a little bit, make them look curved just the way you want, because it's pretty flexible. But this 24 gauge, that looks pretty good, right? Now you can turn this a quarter turn and put your chain through it, or you can do what I like to do. I like to add some little jump rings, and that gives it like an extra touch. And get yourself some cute little chain. I like to buy my chain in bulk. I haven't been able to find good chain. This silver-plated chain tends to tarnish after about a year, but I tell people, you know, I'll replace the chain for free. You can buy like real sterling silver solid chain. They're still going to have to polish it at some point, and then you're going to have to up the price. But that's, you know, that's your choice. I haven't really found anything in the middle. It's pretty much really, really nice sterling silver chain, or kind of slightly cheap chain that looks beautiful for about a year and then starts to turn gray or yellow. Where are my silver jump rings? You know what? I'm wrong. You can do stainless steel chain. It's a little bit more dull. It goes great with German silver. It's kind of the same color as German silver. But yeah, stainless steel chain, because it's stainless steel, it'll stay. Now it doesn't look as bright shiny silver as the silver plated chain, but it has that benefit of it's going to stay this color forever, pretty much, as far as I know, unless you have like some bionic amazing skin that'll eat through anything, which I have met some people who have say that they have like very acidic oil in their skin and they can't wear anything metal. But that's a little fun fact that has nothing to do with this video, which is, I'm sure you're really happy I added. In any case, I don't know where my silver jump rings are, so I'm getting annoyed. I have a whole wheel full of black gunmetal. See how organized I am? I have a whole wheel full of antique copper with a little bit of bright copper there. I have a whole wheel full of antique brass, the kind of yellowish brownish color. And I have a whole wheel full of silver somewhere that I can't find. So I'm just going to rant for 10 minutes about how mad I am that I can't find these silver jump rings. Lucky for you, I found one. So one is really all you need for this tiny little dainty one. And you don't even kind of need one this big, but just showing you how easy it is to finish this off. So cute, right? Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to find it. I'm going to put a smaller one on there. Ooh, I did find a smaller one. Haha! Is that smaller? No, that's the same size. There you go. That one's smaller, and that looks better. But you can put 2 or 3 of them, too. Sometimes it looks cool. Let me show you some other patterns. So let's take this medium guy here. Do something. That looks like it's a little bit, I don't know what that is. Let's take this one. For this deep red, I like to do copper very often. So I found some 24 gauge copper, so we're in luck. And again, I'm taking up a foot, maybe a tiny bit more. This one's a little bigger. Again, bring it to the middle of the wire. Same thing, crimp, crimp, loop. Make your loop as tight as you want it to be. Twist it around once. Voila. Okay. Now, here's another pattern. And this is, again, people have been with me for a long time. You're going to say, I've seen this pattern too. That's okay. Some people have not, and they are enjoying this right now. Trust me. I can feel the energy coming through the video. And people are like watching this right now, and they're like, I am enjoying this. I just wish you'd stay on camera more. I'm getting better at it, I promise, guys. I'm practicing. So this one, instead of folding it over the back, so we did the same swirl. We have these guys again. We're just going to put these together, and we're going to press against the stone and fold it over like this. And try to fold it real tight, because you don't have much stone to work with. But on a bigger stone, you can really do a lot of crazy swirl. But even on this tiny stone, if you're real tight, you can get a few cute little curves in there. And really keep pressing them tight. And look at that. You just snake your way up to the top. Sometimes you can do big curves going into smaller and smaller if you have more room. But just this right here looks cute, right? So, and then we're going to fold it over and scarf it again. And see how easy that is? So easy. I could make like 12 of these in an hour. And you can sell them for very little because it's not a lot of material, and you could do it very fast. But they're so cute. Like, sometimes people prefer these to like a real fancy wrap. And they're great as a gift because, like I said, everyone likes them. You don't have to worry about that person who's really picky. If you do a real crazy, wild, funky wrap, which is something I love to do, you might find someone who's like, oh, that's totally awesome, but then they're like, I'd never wear that. That's too wild for me. That's not my style or whatever. But these guys are just so, like, universally cute. They're so cute. Now, I actually do have some copper chain. Otherwise, if you don't have a chain that matches, black cord. Always get yourself some black cord. You can get these black, it's like 2 millimeter woven cotton cord. Or you could just put in black cord with clasp, 18 inches. Lot, put in the word lot, like on Amazon or online anywhere, and you'll find like, you can get 100 of these for very low, or you can get 10 of them, whatever you want to do. But I actually have some copper chain here, so let's put that on there. Cute, right? And you could still mess with these too, like, oh, you know, those are a little boring. I want them to be more diagonal. Let's squeeze them down like this. See, now that part is more diagonal than the other part. And I want this part to come up to be diagonal too. You can squeeze them like this. See that? I put slightly different curves in there, but whatever. I actually do have my copper jump rings, so just gotta find the right size. Those big monster ones and scare that poor little guy. Man, where are my little ones? There they are, hiding in there. There we go. They're intermediate. That's what I need, this size. Perfect. Yes. See how when I put 3 jump rings, it adds like a little little level of elegance. Like those kind of mirror the scarfing down there. It's kind of cool, right? But it's up to you. I mean, I put as many as 5 jump rings before on a larger piece, and you could just do 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. One more pattern. We'll do the big one this time. Look how much bigger it is than the others. But we'll stick with the 24 gauge copper because that means I don't have to actually look for other copper. Oh, wait a minute. I have 22 gauge here. That's a little better. It's a little more firm. 22 will work. Take a tiny bit more this time. We'll take be on the safe side, take about 14 inches, 15 inches. But other than that, do all the same thing. Put it through. Find what side you like better. Ooh, that's a pretty, look at that. That's like cherry on that side, right? Crimp, crimp. Make your loop. Right? Fold it around. Okay? Fold this over. Fold this over. Make your little swirl at the bottom. And I'm pressing it each time. You can make the swirl really tight, or you can make it loose so you can like see the coils coming around and see the stone in between. It all depends on how you press it as you pull it around. If you pull it really tight, you'll get a tight swirl, but I like to make it a little bit loose. I like to have a little bit showing. Okay? But if you ended up like this, you can also roll it. This is really relaxing and fun to work with. It's like, this is really one of the most enjoyable pieces. I could just make these all day while I watch TV. So here's another pattern. We'll do the same thing we did with the last one. We'll start to just snake it back and forth, but we'll throw a little curve in there, a little loop. Throw a little loop in there, right? And now we can go around the back and do something over here, or we can just stay in front. And staying in front sometimes makes it a little more secure. When you come around the back, you gotta be careful because that can be flimsy. That can like snag on stuff. So I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna see I'm rolling it to that side so I have more room to play with. And now I'm going to do another curve. And you thought I was gonna make that a loop, but nope, I'm curving it backwards. Tricked you. You were so tricked by that. See that? And do another curve. And you could do more loops. You could do whatever you want. There's no rhyme or reason or rules. It's just whatever you find is fun and looks cool or elegant or whatever. This almost looks like some kind of cursive lettering, like I'm putting someone's initials, like EB or, whatever. But you thought I was finished? Nope, I'm gonna throw one more loop up there. The very end, really tight one. Teeny tiny little, but that little teeny tiny loop changes the whole thing. Because now it doesn't look like EB anymore. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like the highway system on some of our cities that are like really cringy that you dread driving down. All right. And now we're gonna keep pressing it tight. Try not to let it jump over the stone. Try to keep it flat on the surface of your piece and come around and do our scarf. This is so fun. Like, you can just play around with these patterns. You can make 10 of these. Again, it's like, they don't cost a lot. You're not using much wire. It doesn't take you a long time. You can just have a whole arsenal of these and just carry them around in a teeny tiny little briefcase. And when you go to Starbucks to have your coffee, you could just be like, hey, anybody want to buy some necklaces? They're only this much and I hand make them myself. And everybody like, ooh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. You made these? Wow. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm magical. You don't have to tell them you learned it from a YouTube video. Just be like, I am magical. Do the magical dance. The magical song. I am magical and I make lots of necklaces for you and you and you and you and you and you all day. Make sure you learn that song. Otherwise, they might not believe you're magical. And then they'll look at you like, wait a minute. You say you're magical, but you have not yet proved it with a song. And then you'll be like, oh crap, I knew I was supposed to learn that song. And it'll be too late to pull up the video because you didn't take the time to learn it. So just, sing the song. I am magical, I'm magical every day. I make all of these necklaces to show you the right way. And this one definitely is getting 3 jump rings because it's just fabulous. Now, I don't know if I talked about tightness, but look at how flat that is against the stone. There's nothing sticking up to snag. That's the entire time I was making these curves. I was pressing. I was using my fingernail to curve around as I was pressing. And you'll get the hang of it after you do a bunch, but it's really fun. But you want them tight, because if you have these like sticking out, then all they need to do is get caught on somebody's wisp of hair or get the chain caught underneath it, and boom, the whole thing's gonna be like sticking out like all like, meh. That's a technical term. When you don't make jewelry correctly, the technical term is meh. It's spelled MEHHH, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, angry face. All right. You guys go make some. Have a great day.